This is a little bit of a sad story. As many of you know, I went to England on October the 31st to see my mum for the final time. She wasn't well, it was just a matter of time that she would pass away. I missed it by one day. And on Thursday, the 23rd of November 2023, will be her service in her town or her village where she lived for the last 20-something years, in a beautiful house with a beautiful view looking over the Welsh countryside. I just want to spend a little bit of time to remember my mum here on YouTube and share with you some of her life story. Now, obviously, I don't know all, but way back in 1938, my mum was born in September. She went through the war years living just outside London in a city called Berkhamsted. After the war, she went to a school called Berkhamsted Girls' School, which was actually quite traditional in our family for girls. I went to the Berkhamsted Boys' School, for example. Private schools, but just to confuse the issue, private schools in England are actually public schools, and public schools are state schools. Going off topic again with that. She went to the Royal Academy of Music at the age of 17 and graduated as an organist and a harpsichordist and a pianist and a little bit of the violin as well. And she taught in the girls' school for many years for people trying to do their grades for their musical abilities, from grade 1 all the way up to grade 8. That's the scoring level. Then she started to work as an examiner for the Royal Academy, the Associated Board of Music. And she would be the actual examiner who would go to different schools around England and Wales and examine for a week. And she absolutely loved it. When I was 16, that makes my mum 46 at that time, she started to do this internationally, and her life she just really enjoyed being in Singapore for 2 or 3 months, living in a 5-star hotel, examining people there. In Hong Kong was quite often, Malaysia, mainly in, you could say, Southeast Asia. She retired, I can guess, round about 77, where she was just unable to travel, maybe a bit before that as well. And during that time, my father did actually pass away. I was 29 when he did, and my mum actually remarried within the space of a year. Who did she remarry? She married her first love, the boyfriend before my father, which is fine. Life goes on. And they moved to this lovely place in the Welsh countryside called Grosmont, which I've shown you some videos before, and lived happily with Michael, doing a little bit of work here and there with examining, but just enjoying life to the full. For example, so talented and so musical was my mum. Again, you may have seen the video where she had a Steinway piano, an organ, and 2 pianos actually in her living room, I do believe, and a small harpsichord, music room stroke living room. And she still kept musically active by creating some singing societies. That they had the kitchen singers that used to come and sing in mum's kitchen with 1 or 2 bottles of wine, maybe a little bit more, and constantly encouraging family to practice and play musical instruments. Only classical. My mum was so out of date with the, you could say, pop music. She would have known, yep, the Beatles and Elvis Presley. But if you asked her about Rihanna or Jennifer Lopez, even Michael Jackson, she wouldn't have a clue. But everyone to her own. She just loved the classical world. And for the remaining part of her life, she was, you could say, in pre-heaven, happy, encouraging, smiling, doing activities, getting involved in the community. And don't call my mum during the Australian Open, the Paris Open, Wimbledon, and the American Open in tennis, and the same with rugby. Don't disturb her during these days. She wasn't a big football fan one way or the other. She always used to have a great Christmas dinner, and many of my sisters, I have 3 sisters, would try and go to visit her during that period, especially the 2 that live in England. I have another one who lives in New Jersey in the United States of America. 2022, my mum did have some problems at home. I'm not going to go into that, but she got some care, she got a stair lift, and as my auntie said, who I did see when I was in England, said she had a grace period of 1 year. And again, she thoroughly enjoyed this. It was only when she caught a bit of COVID and she got rushed into hospital, I think round about the 10th of October 2023, and I did manage to make a FaceTime call. I did manage to make a FaceTime call with my mum, and my sister was there, and this was the last time I spoke to her, but she was so high on the drugs that the doctors were giving her. She even said, "Why is this water so sticky?" And then on October the 31st, when I did arrive in the UK, I arrived November the 1st, she already passed peacefully away. I did actually speak to the father, the priest who's going to do the service, and he was there with my mum saying, "Let it go, you're going to go to a better place." And my sister was there when she did actually pass away, with her hand on her heart, listening to her or feeling her pass away. The hospital was actually really great, that they even allowed her cat, one of her cats, Casper, into the hospital, sort of to say goodbye. And that's a story which will make me cry, so I'm not going to do that one. So to my mum, who's up there now, looking down with her mum, with her dad, with her old cats, with her husband before, with all her family and friends looking down on us, I would just like to say thank you. Even though I haven't been in the UK, every time we made an effort to visit each other in Hong Kong or Brunei or in Thailand, even though I haven't been the best son in the world, it was always a great pleasure and an honor to go and be with my mum. The last time that I did go to England, way back in 2018, before COVID, it was her 80th birthday, and that was the last time I was with all my sisters, and my mum was just over the moon with that we were all there. And you could say, in the back of our mind, for all of us to be there was like the final time. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but that's what I was sort of feeling at the time. It's saying, for all my sisters to be in the UK, and me and my auntie. I have another auntie who's not doing too well, but again, I keep going off topic, and that's another story. It was. So that was sort of like that, and I'm very sorry that I missed it, the departure, by 1 day, and I feel sort of guilty that I'm unable to attend the funeral. One is financial restraints. Last time I went to England, you guys on YouTube, amazing that you helped pay for 1/3 of the ticket to get me to the UK. But the trip was, because it was a cheapy ticket, it was a nightmare, long waiting times. And literally this is a week today since I've been back. I still actually have a headache. I still got jet lag. My body is aching, but it shouldn't be about me. It's about my mum. And to say, rest in peace, my dear mama. You had 85 years of giving happiness to people around the world, not just family, not just friends. How you traveled around the world for the Associated Board of Music and helping people pass these exams with your kind smile and the love of music. To my mum, thank you. To my mum, rest in peace. to everyone, God bless. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye for now.